All right. Oh, weird. It didn't, my screen stopped sharing. All right. Hey everyone. Thank you for coming to the solar contractor meeting. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna hand over the mic to Ruby, who is our new program associate. So everybody, welcome Ruby. And then let's get started.
Thanks, Athena. All right, some housekeeping. Just make sure to mute your mic. Please, any questions that you have, just drop them in the chat box, and we'll try to answer them as we go. Current project wait times. Applications and LOIs are about 3 to 4 weeks. DGPA review is 1 to 2 weeks. Final documentation review is about 3 weeks, inspections 1 to 2 weeks, and DMO shutdown wait times, depending on the location, is about 3 months. Please fill out the meeting poll found in the chat. Oh, it's not allowing you guys in. Let's try to troubleshoot that.
No
I'm gonna
worries, y'all.
yeah, I'm gonna
Here we
resend the
go.
link.
Try that one. Thanks. Sorry, y'all. Thanks for bearing with our technical difficulties.
And a little safety moment for you guys. It's spooky season. It's also the end of Austin bat season. If a bat is in your home or office, do not swat the bat. Wear thick gloves, capture the bat in a box or a plastic container, and return the bat to the wild, or you can call animal control. If you think you got bit by a bat, wash any wounds and seek medical attention immediately. You can, contact animal control to safely test the bat for rabies and contact your local state health department for any medical advice. Most bats leave in the fall or winter to migrate, so those are the best times to bat-proof your home. And some bats are endangered and may need special care if they are found in your home. Do not trap a bat on your coworker's head, like Dwight did in the office. That is a big no for bat safety. And then Michael, are you here? And can you introduce yourself?
I'm not seeing Michael on the call yet. Michael is our new project manager. And he has 10 years of electric experience with the utility, 20 years as a project manager, and he will be managing the solar maintenance projects. He's a scuba diving enthusiast and generally outdoorsy. So, and he has 3 dogs. So, everybody, welcome Michael. Thank you.
And Michael is here, but he can't unmute himself. But thanks, Michael.
Now I can.
Oh,
I guess it was,
perfect.
yeah, it was locked out. No, yeah, I've got a decade of experience with Pertinalis, and before that I was in healthcare management, and so I'm looking forward to working with the team here and with the projects that we have coming down the pipe. So thank you very much, and look forward to meeting some of you in person.
And our upcoming meetings, we will have a technical contractor meeting Thursday, November 21st. This is mandatory for new contractors to get on our participating contractor list. And we'll have an administrative meeting Thursday, December 19th. This is also mandatory for new contractors to get on our participating list and recommended for new employees at existing solar companies. And then we'll have a general meeting again on Thursday, January 16th. And contractors interested in becoming a participating contractor for the standard offer program must attend all these trainings for our new standard offer program. We will have a standard offer meeting on Friday, October 25th. Please email this email to get on the invite list. And then we will have today is the general contractor meeting, and we'll talk more about standard offer. And we will have a standard offer training in mid-November. Date is to be determined.
All right, so if you guys know, in the chat, we are doing the contractor survey and we're trying to get more dialed into kind of like what it is that you all are looking for. And I know we have some new people, some old people, so this stuff might be repetitive, but we do still want to make sure that we reach out and get you all what you need. So here's kind of a table of some of the common themes that we have been seeing in that survey. And so if you're looking for technical information such as energy storage, please come to our technical meetings. We do talk over some of those newer technologies. For existing programs, commercial rebates and residential rebates, you can always look at our website. There are also information, the important documents are in EECP. So if you look under publications, they're right there. So if you do have questions on those ones, of course, our website is always helpful. And then in EECP. For general design questions, we really do want you to point you guys to our DIG, our DCM. And then if you have specific questions on your projects, you can ask our inspectors, solarinspections@austinenergy.com. That is always a good resource. For permits, aux permits, upgrade permits, things like that, please reach out to DSD. There's also the A, B, and C manual if you're just looking how to do permits in general. Those are going to be your best resources for permits. If you're looking to navigate EECP, which I know is something for our newer contractors that is always overwhelming, please come to our admin meetings. Those are also recorded. This meeting is also recorded. If you look at our YouTube channel, then you can see that there are helpful, that's going to give you more of like a click by click, as well as the publications again in EECP. If you scroll through them, we do have PowerPoints for new builds and how to do those. And then also all of our meetings, we will send out a PDF of the slides. So you'll have that information there. So navigating EECP, those will be some resources for you there. Our new programs, Solar for All and Standard Offer. Again, we're gonna announce these, but they're gonna be on our website as they roll out. If you want specific questions, please just email us solar@austinenergy.com, and we can get you more specifics on those. And then for standard offer, that stuff is rolling out pretty soon here, so please just keep a lookout in your inbox. And then so inspections. So where can I schedule an inspection? The inspections request form. So please make sure that you have this bookmarked, the request form. Also, again, like specific inspection questions, solarinspections@austinenergy.com. So hopefully these are helpful for you. For some of the more in-depth stuff, we are working on better resources for you, but we're hoping that this will be helpful in the meantime. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so export limiting. So we're developing an export limiting policy. So in the past, projects over 25 kW, solar and batteries, they have to go through DGPA. So these are the project total cannot exceed 90% of the transformer rating. So if you see your transformer rating, 90% of that, we can't go over that 90%. So, or that was the past. Now the present, it still has to go through DGPA. So solar plus batteries, your project still has to go through DGPA. But we can like employ export limiting for these projects that would otherwise like exceed the 90% rule. They still need to be reviewed and approved. And then what we would like to see is just like that this is communicated to the customer. So if you're export limiting on your project, we just need like an acknowledgement form from the customer saying that they understand what they're getting into. So the future of this is that we develop a policy that reduces the need for individual review, and making sure that like everything is equitable when we are exporting. So that's a future thing. Of course, we're always going to keep you up to date on all of the developments, but as of now, if your project is over that 90% rule, we will look into and see how we can explore the export limiting for that project in specific. So if you have questions, always let me know in the chat, and also at the solar@austinenergy.com inbox. Thank you. All right, Megan.
Everybody, so I am very excited to announce that the ABNC portal changes that we've been talking about for about a year now are just about ready. So November 1st, 2024, you guys may start to see some new stuff in the ABNC portal regarding aux permits. Please do continue to use the inspection scheduling form until that goes live. You will start to see, though, however, after November 1st, the final solar inspection request on that My Inspections tab. So we will be sending out a couple more trainings and manuals on how to kind of go through this, just so that you guys have access to that anytime you need it for the future. But just know that this is coming soon, so you will start to see some of that functionality in November. And yeah, can't wait to see it. Thanks, y'all. All right, any questions? I don't see any in the chat, so I think we can keep going, Athena. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. All right, so value of solar bill credit. So we go over this every meeting, so we want to make sure that everyone understands value of solar. So a quick recap. So how do value of solar bill credits work? Basically, like in Austin Energy, there's no net metering. So what we instead have is value of solar. And this is where the customer is credited 100% of their solar production. So regardless of whether they're using it in their home or they're sending it back to the grid, we are using it, or we are giving them that credit. The other side of that is that they are being charged for all of their on-site consumption. So all of the lights that they're turning on, everything like that, they're getting charged at the regular tiered rate. Right now, the value of solar is at 9.9 cents per kWh, and we are able to change these every 3 years. So 2026, I believe, is our next review. Okay. All right, so this is more of a visual that you are welcome to share with your clients. Basically, this bar graph is a great representation of the value of solar, because as you see on the left, like the total consumption, like on-site consumption, can consist of grid or solar energy. And you're still going to be charged that consumption rate. Again, flip side, the total solar generation, whether it's going to the house or the grid, you are still going to get that, you're still going to get that credit. You're still getting paid for it. And it is, like I said, 9.9 cents per watt for systems under 1 megawatt. All right. So how to work with solar bill credits. We have some really great resources here, the Austin Energy website. We have our Solar Ed course, and then Austin Energy Bill Explainer. These are 3 things that, of course, you can always share with your clients. The big thing here, guys, is that you have to educate your clients on VOS. Like any contracts that you use that say net metering are pretty misleading, and so we really don't want you to be using those. We have, like I said, our resources here. You can always email us. Your customers are welcome to reach out for us and ask us things too. We just want to make sure that it's really clear that it's not net metering, value of solar. All right, so with that being said, let's go into our rebate program. So We've got 3 kind of sections that we offer rebates for residential, multifamily, and commercial. And so going into our residential, it is a flat $2,500 rebate at the end of the program. You will, your customer will get a check in the mail. So in order to be eligible for this rebate, your customer will need to take the online education course and pass the quiz. So it's about a 30-minute quiz, but it gives so much good information on how to like what solar is, how it is in Austin Energy, and like how to go through our rebate program process. From there, there'll be a CAF form, which customer agreement form, sign that and send it to us through the EECP portal. Once we review that and approve it, you will get a confirmation letter. So it'll be the contractor as well as the customer receiving this letter. And so it's you'll have 120 days, or if it's a new build, 365, to complete the installation. Once you get that letter, you are good to install. After the installation, we do have a little bit more paperwork, but once that's finalized, $2,500 rebate again sent to the customer. And just so that we are all on the same page, funding will not be allocated to projects that have been installed prior to the solar rebate confirmation letter. So please make sure that that confirmation letter gets sent before you install. All right, so that was residential. Now we have our commercial program. So in our commercial incentive program, we have the PBI program, performance-based incentive. This incentive is for, projects small all the way up to 400 will be 8 cents, 4 to 99, 6, and then above 1,000 will be 4 cents per kWh. The PBI program is a 5-year on-bill credit program. So for 5 years, your customer will get a bill credit on their bill, and it is the monthly production times the rebate level. So depending on the size. And again, that's 5 years. After 5 years, it rolls off, and they will just have that value of solar credit on their bill. All right, so big announcement here, y'all. We are no longer required to have RCAs. So recommended council action is RCA. What we used to do was we would get a list of projects that had all their information ready and send it to council for approval. Now we are able to do aggregate authority, which basically means that at the end of the month, the solar team is able to look at those projects and approve them. So it's still going to be the rule of 74K per year. We're still looking at those. But we still need to have the same rules apply in terms of documentation. We're not going to review any documents that are not fully ready for review. So that means DGPA, approved DGPA still needs to be there. And then the contract also needs to be reviewed. And so we have all those plus CAF, bill, all the preliminaries for encumbrance. Everything needs to still be in tip-top shape before we review. With that being said, these are our tiers. So we have our PBI program at 17%. We previously had a CBI program that is on hold at 97% for our tier 3. So I'll go ahead and kind of gloss over that one. Okay, cool. Next one. Our multifamily solar rebate program. So this is a program for multifamily property owners where the one-time installation rebate is going to get to go to the property owner, but the on-bill credit, the VOS, is going to go to the tenant. So this is a great way for people who live in multifamily properties to be able to benefit from the value of solar without having a property, an installation on their property. So the property owner, just going to say it one more time, property owner gets the one-time check, billing tenants get VOS. And so you'll see here the rebate level for this one is $1 for nonprofits, 60 cents for for-profits, and it'll be a one-time check. All right, so Benefits of the shared solar program is that we have the capability of being able to share that one solar system with multiple properties. So if there is a unit, 5 units or more, so you'll have like a multifamily property with 5 or more units, and it's shared throughout each unit. So each unit will get an allocation of that VOS. And again, it's just so that more people can benefit from the value of solar. Okay, programs in development. And Val, I believe these are yours.
Yeah. Hey guys. Good morning, everybody. So we're going to speak about 2 programs that are in development today. I don't think that these will be too new for many of you online, but let's talk about where they are at today. So we have our standard offer program that we're putting in place to expand our community solar program. Under the standard offer, we're offering a rate similar to the value of solar to anyone that goes through this program and gets interconnected on the utility side of the meter. These are customer-sited solar installations in which the generation and all benefits from the generation get contributed to our community solar program. The host of the solar array, they can own the program. They can work with a third-party developer to own, the system. They can work with a third-party developer to own the system. And we assume they would be compensated by some sort of lease agreements that we are not involved in. In order to be eligible for the standard offer tariff, which is how we'll be paying for the production for these systems, you will need to go through a program that's similar to our rebate programs. So I want to be really clear, this is not a rebated program. We are launching a new tariff with the idea of expanding our community solar program. We do have a meeting on the 25th to review the documents of that program and the guidelines of that program, and we're anticipating launching it in November. I think there's a next slide about that. But in case you haven't already been part of our stakeholder meetings we've been having for the past year or so, let's talk a little bit about who all is involved. I'll refer to the diagram now. We've got the customer who is hosting. We'll call them the customer host. We have the third-party developer who we are paying the standard offer tariff to. We have our community solar program, which allows residential customers to subscribe and support locally produced solar energy without having to have solar on their own facility. Yeah, let's go to the next slide. As stated, our desires here are to expand our community solar program, and we'd like to do it without having to issue RFPs. So again, to join this program or be part of it, it's going to be deployed more like a rebate program, and that we'll still use ECP to review projects before they get, we approve them and make them eligible for this rate. But there's not a contract between Austin Energy and the developer or the customer. Instead, we'll have a standard rate that's going to be the same for everybody and paid out much like the value of solar, except this rate will have cash value to the developer. So by expanding our community solar program, all the benefits that local solar entails, including environmental benefits, hopefully customer satisfaction, and it's just one more program that we're rolling out, trying to increase solar access, solar equity, and affordability. Go ahead for the next slide. As I mentioned at the top of this section, we have a pre-launch on October 25th. If you all are interested and haven't already received an invite, do reach out to us and let us know. In that meeting, we'll do a program overview and we'll take a deep dive into the program guidelines and requirements. Again, it's going to be structured as far as the paperwork, very similar to our current rebate programs. Our goal is to launch the program on November 8th. We'll have an additional meeting then, and at that point, we're going to do the standard ECP sort of training. If you are interested in becoming a participating contractor for this program, All standard offer systems must be installed by a participating contractor. So for the initial, release of the program. So please plan to attend if you're interested. We'll consider it, sort of one of the required contractor trainings to be part of the program. And we'll review more of the nitty-gritty as far as application permitting, inspection process, paperwork, ECP work, all the good stuff. Next slide. It wouldn't be enough to have one new program launching, so we're also working on the Solar for All grant. This grant targets primarily residential and also multifamily buildings. And the idea is to outfit them with solar and storage at no cost to the customers. We're able to do this through EPA funding. We received about a $32 million grant, and we're currently in the process of bureaucracy and paperwork to get that accepted and approved by council, and then launching the program. So there's still a lot of unknowns at this point. It's been a lot of work just getting the paperwork together and getting the grant. But at the end of the day, we're looking to see benefits, just, rounding all the corners that we have: workforce development, equitable access to solar, resiliency benefits, low income household savings, community ownership, environmental benefits. You guys, I'm sure, will be happy to hear virtual power plants, and also a big thing for us is more generation inside our load zone to help us with ERCOT market prices. Next slide. Sort of just a recap of that list that I just read off. I think maybe an important distinction here, the bottom two bullets, when we talk about bill savings, the goal of this program is or a requirement actually of this program is to have 20% bill discounts for the low income community solar participants that sign up for Solar for All capacity solar systems. And then also the idea is that, well, the solar and battery is being installed at no cost to the homeowner. It is not owned by the homeowner, although the storage could be used by the homeowner in event of an outage. But that after 15 years, ownership would transfer over to those homeowners. So yeah, still lots to be done here, but these are our general goals. Next slide. And then to talk a little bit about the numbers, we are imagining 20 megawatts of distributed rooftop solar, about 35 megawatts of energy storage. It's probable that most of these will go on single family homes, but we're also considering multifamily, also nonprofit and community service facilities, for sort of resiliency hub situations. And then our hope is to finally be able to increase the capacity for our community solar program. It's been on a wait list almost since we released it. So we'll be really happy to expand that tremendously. Currently, we have about 400, 500 customers that are supported by community solar. So we'll be able to make an impact there. Next slide. Oh no, haha, we don't have a question slide here. That's okay. If there are questions, we can take some, and if not, we can move on to the quarterly report.
All right, guys. If you have questions.
Quarterly report's good. Yeah. Thank you all.
All right, thank you, Val. And you all can drop questions in the chat at any time, so just let us know. Okay, so FY 2024 quarterly rebate reviews. Okay, so we are excited to announce that we hit our 16 megawatts installed in FY 2024. This is a huge deal, guys. We've been able to install 16 megawatts. And so, of course, this is all thanks to our participating contractors. You all are in the program. You guys are all doing the work. So we want to give you guys a huge thank you. Big round of applause. Our goals for residential were 7 kW and then commercial 5 kW. So our residential, as you can see on the bottom there, we've got our solid boxes as the rebated and then non-rebated in those hatched lines there. And so we do have about a 50-50 split, but we're still very, very grateful for all of your help. And again, just like look at that commercial bar chart. That is crazy. We blew it out of the water. So again, I'm just gonna say thank you one more time. And these are our quarterly numbers. Okay, so residential program application processing times. Okay, so these are for our average days of LOI. Basically, it's about 11 days from putting in your application to us getting a review. We do have a 2-person review process, so one person will put their eyes on it, look at those reviews, and then we'll have a second set of eyes doing that review process. So it takes about 11 days. This does include the weekends. So just bear that in mind, that we add those in when we're doing average days to LOI. And then as far as our project count, again, this is just residential and it is pretty low for this last quarter or this last fiscal year. And it's 442. All right. And then I believe Ruby, you're going to take it over.
Yeah, so in FY24, we had about 22 active participating contractors. So it's a little bit down, but you know, we'll get back up. And yeah, next slide. And we have gotten a lot of good feedback from customers. Some highlights: the process was pretty seamless. The company was and workers were very diligent and hardworking, and I'm very happy with the outcome. So we'd love to see this kind of feedback, and yeah, we'll keep relaying that feedback back to you guys. Any questions? Just drop them in the chat.
All right, and then I'll pass it on to Megan for our inspections pass rate.
All right, thanks, Athena. So our inspection pass rate for rebated projects this past quarter in FY24 Q4 was 91%. So huge kudos to y'all. Thank you so much. That is great work. Please keep it up. It's 10% higher than the previous quarter, which was 81%. So y'all are killing it. I really appreciate that. And I think the pre-comms you guys are using is working. I've got the inspectors in the room with me, so I'm getting a lot of like kudos and cheers over here. So thank you guys. It's going really well. Even non-participating contractors, the pass rate was at 83% from 74 in the last quarter. So great job. Up all around, looking great. And we really appreciate that, y'all. So thank you so much for not only bringing solar to the grid, but for doing it in a way that is positive and very customer focused. We really appreciate that. Just keep in mind a couple of things. Pass rate calculation includes only final inspections, rebated and non-rebated, includes ESS and solar. Inspections failed due to no-shows or late cancellations are counted towards that. So just keep that in mind and make sure you're giving us 24 hours notice anytime you cancel anything. It excludes ESS only inspections and then non-final. So roughs, pre-wires, meter checks, all that is not included in that pass rate. So great work, y'all. Next slide, please. Alrighty, permitting and inspection reminders. So keep in mind, we get this question from time to time. If you're taking over a permit that already exists, you're going to want to use this link that says modify an existing permit. There are two options there. One, if you can get a hold of the previous contractor, then you'll sign the transfer of contractor letter and ask them to do so and then take over that permit. Option two is if you can't get a hold of the previous contractor, then you're just going to repurchase the permit and the homeowner can give you approval to let you do that. Please do submit a new DGPA anytime you do that so that we have the most accurate information on those permits. Requesting shutdowns from Austin Energy, I won't get into that here too much just because on the next slide we have some very detailed steps, but keep in mind the team that manages that is the St. Elmo distribution team. So if you have questions about your shutdown and or repair or upgrade permit, that is the team that you will need to contact. Also, urgent inspections, we can still possibly do next day inspections. Please do email us at solerinspections if you need a next day inspection, or give one of us a call so we can set that up, because we might miss it if we don't see that. But just keep in mind, they're not guaranteed. So we will try to do the best we can to accommodate those requests, but they are not something that we will absolutely promise that we can do. All right, next slide, please. Okay, scheduling a shutdown with Austin Energy and City of Austin. So again, keep in mind, you'll need either an upgrade, repair, or remodel for commercial projects. You can also do this work under a remodel permit to schedule the final shutdown. Please include upgrade or rebuild within the permit description of work. That's really important because it just clues our team on exactly what you're trying to do out there. For outages during normal business hours, you're going to call that number right there, 512-505-7620, or email St. Elmo Distribution, and then make sure to include your permit number, service address, and contact info. Once they've set up that appointment, you're gonna let basically City of Austin know by scheduling a 304, 305 through A, B, and C, no later than 1 p.m. the business day before. So that allows the City of Austin team to make sure they're gonna be on site at the exact same time. Now, anything after business hours, just keep in mind there's a couple other groups involved. But again, similar process. You're going to send an email to either St. Elmo or Kramer. Make sure that you've got all those details in there again. So permit number, service address, contact info. And then once you set that up, make sure to contact Hyatt Dunn so that he can coordinate that inspection with the City of Austin inspector. All right. Design and metering reminders. So your electrical service must be up to code. Keep in mind that if it's not up to code, that is something that's going to get called out during your inspection. Please check out the design criteria manual if you have questions on what that means. When your work is going to alter the service, the utility service, contact distribution metering for feedback before you build. Things like that are really important. Make sure that anytime you are going to put equipment on the wall, you have all of the necessary approvals prior so that you're not running into those issues later on down the line and having to move stuff off a wall or move it over. If you encounter any unusual service configurations, or to make sure that your PV meter install will not be delayed due to non-compliance, again, make sure you're checking all that ahead of time. Wireway gutter boxes ahead of billing meters are not allowed per Austin Energy design criteria 185. Again, consult with distribution metering anytime you're going to run into something like that. Tap splices and communication wires are not allowed in meter cans. I'm sure you guys have seen this comment before where we pass an inspection and then we've got splice wires in the meter cans. If you're aware of that ahead of time, please call it out and let us know so that we can handle that before we pass the inspection and try to roll a truck and get it out there. Please confirm also that your utility meter enclosure is on the approved list. Again, that is provided online, so you guys should be able to consult that list prior to buying any meter enclosures. If you have any issues with that, just reach out to solerinspections@austinenergy.com and we'll try to help you out. Alrighty, next slide, please. Meter collars. So we allow certain types of meter collars in Austin Energy territory, aka socket mounted transfer switches. The device is placed behind the utility meter and within the meter socket and acts as an isolation switch. Also works in tandem with on-site ESS or the generator for home backup. Again, please see that approved meter collar link for more information. All righty. And with that, I think I will pass it over to Kim.
All right, good morning. So here is our who to contact. These are our helpful links. On this page, we're going to cover our solar education course, which is in English and in Spanish, as well as our rebate programs and where to connect with those solar inspections, our participating solar contractor list, as well as our community green choice and commercial incentive programs. All right, and here are some additional helpful links where individuals can be reached, even emails and contact numbers. So this right here is a great resource if you're ever trying to figure out who to contact or where to locate these individuals, or a great email. You're going to use this page right here for great resources. Next slide, Athena. All right. And thank you so much for attending. And if you have any questions, definitely put them in the chat and we can answer those for you.
Hey guys, we had a comment regarding meter callers. I don't know if you can go back to that slide really quickly. Thank you. All right, go ahead, Stu.
Yeah, hey y'all, Stuart here. I just wanted to make clear that so there's like a parallel process for getting these meter collars set, which is very similar to pulling a permit through the contractor portal, but it's not exactly pulling a permit. It's called a field ops consult. And you can find there's a few different steps that you need to take, but basically you just act like you're pulling a permit, and there's a document that we can probably upload somewhere after this meeting that spells out the steps that you'll take to make that happen. The document also is linked on the Austin Energy meter sockets page, which has the list of all of our approved meter sockets. There's also a link on there that gives instructions on how to pull that non-permit for the meter color setting. Thank you.
Just a quick note. I saw some comments in the chat, and I'll just say if you guys have an issue that you would like to discuss privately, please feel free to reach out to Solar at or Solar Inspections at. Typically, we use Solar at for rebate questions or anything prior to installation, and Solar Inspections is the installation, interconnection, anything sort of after install, or if you have questions about installing. So Ronnie, I see that comment. Please just feel free to send us an email at Solar Inspections at, and we will address it there.
And I did drop the attendance in the chat again, so hopefully you guys can be able to click on that link. And thank you for filling it out. And then again, if you have questions, I'll stay on for another 5 minutes or so, and then we can answer anything that you need in the chat. Oh, and then also we will send out these slides. So Ruby will help do that. And great job, everyone, all of our speakers today.